Here's Al Gross and his team of touring stunt drivers from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and a most engrossing group. This is Sunday afternoon at a test track in Dearborn, Michigan. And this is how not to go for a Sunday afternoon drive. Very few Sunday drivers deliberately smash into bumps and take the kind of pounding that can throw a 2-ton car into the air. Everybody knows there is usually something more interesting around the next corner. But normal Sunday drivers really try to avoid this sort of thing. Isn't it exciting up front? Don't try this when you come to the toll gate on the turnpike. This is not recommended for finding a hole in Sunday traffic. Here's an odd way to test brakes. First, lift up the front end of your new car on a jack. Get underneath and deliberately loosen the brakes on all 4 wheels. What am I saying? Just to make sure, give the brake pedal a good push. With the brakes loosened, the pedal should go almost to the floor. Then turn the car over to your best friend and see what happens. Now go find yourself a new friend. But the driver of this car is doing something new. He simply puts the car in reverse, backs it up a few feet, and steps on the brake. Each time he does this, his brakes automatically tighten themselves. Impossible? Not on this car. Those brakes readjust themselves completely by backing up, just like backing out of your own driveway. Say, that was so much fun. Let's try it again. These days, do-it-yourself even applies to new automobile brakes. Here's a good way not to turn around on a Sunday drive. Enough of this will even tune up tired blood. If you haven't anything better to do, pull up 200,000 pounds of wet concrete and put it to work. These boys pulled up 4 truckloads, shut off the engines, and took away the keys. Now add some extra heavy steel cables and connect it all together like a great big train. Then just step up and get a tow from a 110-pound housewife. She doesn't even look around as the first truck begins to move. Then the second. The third. And finally, the fourth. Nothing to it. More than 200,000 pounds. And a lot more fun than standing over a hot stove. Oh, one more thing. Before you try this for yourself in Sunday traffic, figure out what you're going to do when you're finished with 4 truckloads of wet cement. Hardly anybody would think of doing some of these things, such as making automobiles dance in the streets. Or just trying to scare his neighbor. These men are some of the most skillful drivers in the world. And they wouldn't really think of doing this on a public highway at all. Because they're professionals, they like to do things the easy way, such as using a toothpick to shift the gears. What did you say? A toothpick? Of course. These are new electric controls mounted in the center of the steering wheel. But even a toothpick is sometimes too much. Why not be a real dude and steer with a cigarette holder? And then, by adding a little music, you can dance all the way home. Drivers like these are not average motorists. And it takes years to learn tricks like this, if you live. But it doesn't take a stunt driver to tell you not to try this one, no matter who you are. Whether these new cars really waltz or not, these experts can make you think they do. But it's still a long, long way from a quiet drive on a Sunday afternoon.